We want to thank our outstanding sponsor, Touring and Cruises Travel. It's the same team as Touring Plans Travel, but with a new name. Their travel advisors will take care of your Disney or other travel destination needs. Make sure you tell them Rope Drop Radio sent you. Now, on to the show.
Helping you navigate the Disney parks.
With the hope that it will be a source of joy and inspiration to all the world.
You're listening to Rope Drop Radio.
Welcome to another Rope Drop Radio. Derek and Doug talking all things Disney. And Doug, last week was the first show in over 8 years that I was not on.
We missed you, Derek.
I missed all of you guys. Thank you, everyone who reached out. Literally, I was about to start recording. I did go to the ER. I found out I have a hernia, so that's fun.
Yeah, your outsides aren't supposed to, or your insides shouldn't be outside.
That's coming on the outside.
Yeah,
so take this as a warning. I'm pushing 40, and powerlifting and coaching and being wrestling. Yeah, it's time to start settling down a little bit, Doug.
That's what I'm doing. I'm in that phase. I'm done with all. I coach speech now, but that's not nearly as intensive as soccer when I was coaching that, or like you doing football and wrestling. It's a lot. It's hard on you.
But thank you. I had so many listeners and Patreons reach out to me. So thank you so much. I'm doing great. I have surgery here in a couple weeks, but it should be fine. But yeah, thank you guys so much. Thank you, Ryan Wiley, for carrying the show.
Yeah.
And if you haven't, go listen. He did a great job.
It was a good episode.
It was.
I kept thinking like, Derek's going to be really upset he missed this.
I had ideas I was going to cue in, but I was like, you know what? We'll just, first time in 8 years, we'll let it go.
Yep. I've missed my share.
You have.
It's okay.
There you go. Speaking of Patreons, we have a new one. Robin Fines, thank you for joining the Rope Drop Radio community, getting the after show. This week's after show, we're going to be talking about the D23 movie announcements.
Yeah, and the Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the shows.
All the stuff. Because this show is all about what's happening in the parks. We have a lot to talk about. It's not going to be 3 hours long. I'll let you know that. That's how long that parks panel was. But yeah, we had a lot to get to today.
Less
Doug.
Singing, Derek. We won't.
Oh, you want to sing?
We won't. It's not a mini concert.
Nope.
All right. So great way to support the show. Share the show with your family and friends. Pick an episode, share it on Facebook, share it on Instagram, send it to a friend that may be planning a trip. We appreciate you if you do that. Another great way to support the show is to leave a 5-star review. Leave a 5-star review and we will read it on air. So this week, our 5-star reviews will start with Diz Nerd Approved 5 stars by Chelly Welly 382. I stumbled across this podcast and knew from the start that it was a good time. I love all the great tips and humor, and listening always helps me stay in the Disney spirit alive. As a huge Disney nerd from a family of Diz nerds, I give my wholehearted endorsement of Rope Drop Radio. There you go. Thank you very much, Chelly Welly. And then the other one is Great Show, 5 stars by Christine
A.K. Animal Kingdom. I don't know.
Christine Animal Kingdom. Maybe
that's what I went.
Might very much be it. So, all right. It is. Love the show. I binged a ton of episodes before our trip in March. Love the honesty of you both. Your kids are around the same ages as mine, so it was helpful to hear realistic stories you share. I still continue to listen. Helps with the Disney blues.
Ooh. Well, thank you. I actually have a kid's story coming up in the D23 stuff. So it is fun. So yeah, those are good reviews. Keep leaving them, guys. Help our show stand out a little bit. And it means a lot. We love seeing those 5 stars pop up. So we got to dive right into it, Doug. Yeah. D23 happened. If you don't know, that's when they announce all the new things coming to the parks, coming to streaming, coming to movies. We're going to focus on the parks. It was a 3+ hour panel in our central time zone. It got over midnight. After midnight, yeah. And
it went late. It went more than 3 hours, didn't it? It kept going.
Well, all I know is my phone wouldn't stop getting text messages. I got 100 text messages from Doug and Wes and Joe, but also a bunch of Patreons. Ryan Alexander and I were talking. Like, I think I got 1,000 messages from people. So it is a lot. We have a lot to cover, a lot of fun things. But the first thing they said is this is no blue sky, Doug. Right
Yeah,
away, this is dirt should be moving.
right. They're almost making fun of their last D23 where it was all blue sky.
Yeah.
They were just like, yeah, we might do this. Pah. Like the last two D23s were pretty bad. One was a lot of blue sky. The one before it, a pandemic happened right
Yes.
afterwards. So I will take everything still with a grain of salt. I worry about watered down versions, something we might discuss later. But I want to start, Derek. It's not on the outline. Just we got to get this over with right now. One announcement: there was nothing about the Star Cruiser. Are you okay?
Nothing. I'm not okay. No, actually, I slept okay. I actually assumed it's going to be in 2 years. So I think it's going to be a 4-year hiatus and then it's going to come back.
Minimum of 2 years, I think, before they can touch it really for the money side of it. But yeah, I just get that out of the way.
There you go.
Star
Hashtag
Cruiser.
bring back
Derek
the Star
cried.
Cruiser. Cried a lot.
Yeah. Okay. Where to first, Derek?
Well, let's go overseas. So we're gonna get back to Disneyland, Disney World, but they did make some announcements. They did for Paris, which has been under construction for the last I don't know how many years.
A while. So Paris, they announced two things. They're going to update some fireworks, which it seems like every other year they get new and better fireworks than us. Yeah. Their drones added to the fireworks.
Are awesome.
Amazing.
Drones are going to start shooting off fireworks in the next D23 announcement.
No announcements about drones, so we were both wrong there.
We were, yep.
Animal Kingdom does not get drones. Anywho, so they're getting fireworks, which they always seem to get fireworks. Also, Frozen Land's been under construction, was supposed to be finished in time for the Paris Olympics, which, if you notice, is over.
Swing and a miss.
They missed that. Disney. They announced an opening timeline for Frozen 2026.
I thought it was close to done. I've seen pictures.
I did too. Yep. So there must be some infrastructure work, something we don't know about. But they're building around this lake to expand that park, which they changed the name. It's like Adventure Park now, which is good. It needed a different name because it was just like Hollywood Park or Hollywood. Yep. It was dumb. Anyway, they're also building a Lion King, not a land, but an attraction, a dining and a shopping.
It looks so cool.
It's basically Splash Mountain, but Pride Rock, right?
Yes, I love it.
100% when they were like, what should we do with the Splash Mountain problem?
I know.
Somebody drew this up and was like, this would be perfect. And then they were like, how does that fit in Frontierland? Later, we're going to find out that doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter anymore.
No, they could have just went with it. It's awesome looking. I'm jealous. Yep. Might have to go to Paris in 2027 or whenever this happens.
I agree. It's going to be a minute. So, but yeah, Paris got some stuff. So, and we got some other things at some of the other foreign parks as well. But let's jump into the big announcement real quick. Doug has another show called Rope Drop on Deck. Mm-hmm. I don't think I thought maybe they'd announce one, maybe two, but no, Doug, they announced 4 cruise ships.
Yeah, they said 4 new cruise ships, and they gave us the dates of 27 through 31.
Yep.
And I think the reason it's a 5-year window with 4 ships is 28, I believe, is when the Japanese cruise ship is supposed to come out. They said nothing about the ships, but they did say, this is the big thing, that it will bring it to a fleet of 13.
That's a lot of ships.
Which, not really. So if they...
I'm still working to try to get, like, it's every time I get another cruise in, Doug, they add another ship.
Good cruise line, you shouldn't be able to cruise the whole fleet in like a couple years. So 13 means they're not going to retire the Wonder and the Magic. They're getting a little long in the tooth, so to speak, but the front of house maintenance is fantastic. You really can't tell, but there is some technology gaps that you can tell between the different classes of ships. So by 2030, it'll be interesting how that feels. They didn't announce a retirement of them. I am hoping they're smaller ships. I talk about this on Rope Drop on Deck a little bit. And the other 2 things they announced was Moana will be on the Treasure and Hercules will be on the Destiny.
Derek wanted original shows.
They are.
Original, like, not IP shows. But this
is as original as it gets.
There you go. So
the other ones are like jukebox shows where they take one song from this, one song from that, one song from that. So that's the other style show you can see. So hopefully there'll be a new jukebox style show along with Hercules on the Destiny.
There you go. Should be good. So let's just jump into the parks because most people here are listening to the parks. If you want to hear more about the cruise line, rope drop on deck. So let's go out west. Disneyland, which you and I debated. You thought they were going to only talk about Disney Forward. They didn't talk about that at all, which I said they
Right?
weren't going to talk. I was right on that one. You were wrong, but like
Am
they
I
did make.
though? Is this not just the first phase of it going into the recently rezoned area? They didn't tell us where any of this is getting built.
No, I do think the first one, Avatar, is going into a rezoned area.
Right. So Avatar and Coco both coming to California Adventure. I I just don't feel like they're going to demolish or repurpose an area of California Adventure for either of these. I think it's going into new space.
Yeah, I agree
That's
with
how I
you.
feel, which would be Disney forward, but they never said the word, did
Nope.
they?
They
It
didn't
was
even share
weird.
where things were going because that was my mind. It's like, where are you going to have enough space for Avatar?
This is like we've designed all this, but it's still blue sky on where it's landing.
Yes. And that's what I feel
So,
like with a lot of these things. We have the land. It's like playing Sim City. You have the structure. It's like, where does it fit that I
where
get all
does
the
yeah.
green squares? So Avatar, here's what I love though. Avatar is great because they're doing something completely different than they did at Disney World. This is what bothers me about Galaxy's Edge. It's the same on both
Mhm.
coasts. Here, Avatar is going to be different. So you have Avatar 2, the water area over in Disneyland. You kind of have Pandora, Avatar 1 over in Disney World. Good job, Disney.
Yeah. And Coco starts construction in 2026. So don't wait. Don't well for all of this stuff we're talking about today. Don't wait to book your trip to go to
Correct.
Disney World. Go now. Just enjoy the parks now. This stuff is like some of this might open when my grandkids can see it.
Oh, that we make that joke. In fact, the next announcement is the one that drives me nuts.
Oh, okay. Which one is that?
The Avengers Campus.
Mm,
So I remember the D23 4 years ago when they first talked about this e-ticket Avenger ride. And then I was there 2 years
hmm.
ago and they said it's going to be against King Thanos. And then now, 2 years later, they're like, we got a ride vehicle and we're about to break ground. And so, in 2 more years,
Oh, you sent me somebody tweeted a picture of the ride vehicle. I'm like, so
yeah. So in 2 years now, like the next D23, they're going to be showing updates. So in 2 more years after that, that's when it'll open. It'll be a 10-year process. Called it, and I'm going to be right.
10 years. It's crazy, right?
And it's going to
It
be a screen-based attraction. I don't know where they're going to
it looks
exactly
like
put it.
Spider-Man ride vehicles from
Yep,
Universal.
Universal.
Like, what are we doing here,
They
Disney?
still haven't filmed anything for it, so you still got to get all the
Mm,
actors and the animation. So, I love the
right.
idea. But I'm glad they have another attraction in mind. Like this saved at the Tony Stark Flight School. That
Yeah,
announcement
it's
blew my mind. It looked cool.
which is just some of all thrills. It's that Kukla arm that you can
Yep.
program and
Good
ride
job.
on,
I'm
and that's it.
impressed. Yes.
Yeah, that's all it is.
But like that one looks like it's farther in development. They got pictures of Robert Downey Jr. He must have already filmed some things and they tried it out. So
Yeah.
I think they're going to break ground and get that one going pretty quickly.
And so the official date for that one, they said arriving soon,
Yes.
whatever that means.
No idea.
Yeah,
Disney and soon are very different
that
than like
right.
my
Um,
toddlers and
yeah,
soon.
we
So,
have in the Animal Kingdom section, we have one thing to debate on what Disney means by that. All right,
yep.
the next thing is there's going to be a Walt animatronic in the
Love that. We've gone full circle.
yeah. So Walt's
Wa-
there again, and
Walt
that
built the Abe animatronic, and now we've done
is
animatronic on
coming
him.
back, and then pretty soon the Walt animatronic will build animatronics.
Oh, AI taking over.
So that's supposed to come in 25. So evidently soon.
I
So
will actually go. Like that's one that I not book a trip, but like I would
if
go and
oh
see
yeah,
that. I really want to see it.
it's the great what is it? Great speeches of Abraham Lincoln or whatever
Yes,
the Abraham Lincoln thing right in the front of the park. That's where it's going. So that will be interesting.
I love how they said it was going to run like side by side. I think it's going to take over.
Yeah. And then the last little bit of news for Disneyland, they announced an opening date for Tiana's is
About
November
time.
15th. November 15th. So Disneyland at Tiana's will be open. So like we said in our pre-show, like we need dates for some of this stuff. And so
Hmm.
there you go. We got a date.
One date.
Yeah, one exact date. That's the only exact date we got.
And that's it. I mean, Disneyland did not get a whole lot of love. I
I
think
mean,
they're waiting. I think in
it's
2
huge
years
news, but
it
it's
is.
still going to be like at the next D23, we're ready to break ground.
Yeah. I actually think in 2 years, Disneyland's going to get a lot of updates with the Disney Forward, some of the other things. So I think they're kind of holding off. DCA needed some work. Now they'll circle back to Disneyland.
Yeah, so they're starting with the Disney Forward with those two main attractions, and then they're going to plan out from there, I think. This
Yeah,
is
they got
just
a resort
the
and some other
start.
things. Yeah, could have a whole new park. Who knows? So let's move to World. Let's start
Yay.
with the another announcement that we've heard 2 years ago and even a little bit before then.
Mhm.
Animal Kingdom. They are they're getting rid of some dinosaurs. Your favorite land, Doug,
They're getting all the way, like, they're getting rid of our Triceratops spin, man.
and replacing it with a carousel, Doug. A
I couldn't
carousel.
be more
I
upset.
Disney, listen right now, Disney. Imagineers, just take that spinner, put it anywhere else, just anywhere. Pick it
Drop it
up,
in a
drop it
park.
in Epcot,
Don't throw
drop
it
it into
away.
Hollywood Studios, reskin it. Do not throw it away. That is it.
Use it. You know
Yes.
where a great place for a spinner like Triceratops spin would be? The
Where?
UK pavilion of
Oh,
Epcot.
what?
Oh, burn,
That's
Imagineers,
funny.
burn. So
Okay.
people that don't know that, yeah, you look it up. But
Another announcement that never
another
happened.
announcement that never happened. But really, if they throw that away, shame on them. Just drop
Correct.
it somewhere. Put it somewhere. Let kids enjoy it.
I
So
mean,
anyway,
Inside Out spinner from DCA,
yeah, it
we
was
just
the
dropped
Bugs
into Epcot somewhere. It was a Bugs Land
Bugs
spinner.
Leg
Now,
went over to just moved across the park. They keep
yep,
still use it,
there
rethemed
you
it. It's
go.
great.
Love it.
Found a little space to stick it. All right, so the real announcement here, Tropical Americas opening in 27 will be opening in phases, which means maybe they'll build the Encanto stuff first and then close Dinosaur after that. We don't know. They gave us no
Nope.
real details of what's happening, but they kind of made it sound like Dinosaur's going to be open a while yet.
Yeah, they said if you want to do it, you'll have time to get one more ride in on it for sure, which is sad because when you and I went, Doug, we did it to have
Yeah,
one
it's
more
our
ride.
last time.
Yeah,
It's not
not my
my
dino.
dino.
Jinx.
Yeah.
It is going to become Indiana Jones, which,
Mhm.
yes, everyone who messaged me, like I don't know, 30 people, I do love this announcement. I am a huge Indiana Jones fan. I do love Dinosaur, but
Yeah.
here's what I love the most. It is going to be a different ride than what's at Disneyland, and
Mhm.
it's going to be an animal theme. So he's hunting down, I don't know, maybe a dinosaur, because that would be hilarious.
Right?
And I really do hope there is some Easter egg or thing from
Oh,
Dino
I'm
in
sure.
the Indiana Jones but I hope they really do this well and not just half reskin it. I hope it's completely
They're
redone.
just gonna turn all the dinosaurs into snakes.
Yeah, if they do
Yeah.
something like that, I'm be annoyed.
Yeah. Like the worst reskin in the history of rides is the Monsters Inc. ride at
Oh,
California Adventure.
I've been on both, by the way. I
Yeah.
was on the
Oh,
original Drew
yeah.
Carey. Yes.
Like, you watch the YouTube comparison, it's almost painfully funny and like the laziest thing you've ever seen done.
Hmm.
Like, it's like me,
Super stretch limo.
right?
That's
It's
it.
like me taking my sister's English paper report in high school that she did 4 years earlier and literally changing the name at the top and changing the she to he all the way
And
through.
that's it.
That
Yep.
was, yeah,
That was a terrible
that was
reskin.
the
You're
F word.
right. Have fun. Enjoy that YouTube.
Yeah. Okay. So anything else about the tropical Americas? I have one other bone to pick with it.
Okay. Well, we haven't even talked about the Encanto ride.
Oh, we haven't. There's no animals. Like, they didn't announce anything about actual animals.
I don't think they want
I don't
animals.
think they
It's
care.
a theme
It's
park.
too
They
much
don't.
work.
Zoos cost money.
It's not a
Animals cost
zoo.
money. You got to feed them.
Yeah. The animatronics don't eat.
That's true. Well, and I
Right.
think the Encanto ride's going to have a lot of animatronics. I love the idea of using the boy. I forgot his name in Encanto, and I
It's the
think
day
it's
he got his powers, right?
powers. So they're. I see, how they're trying to get
Yeah.
the Animal Kingdom
Go
animal
through the
thing in
door.
Encanto.
Makes sense.
So I love it. And then yeah, go through all the rooms. I think it's going to be a great attraction. I'm looking forward to it quite a bit.
Yeah, I agree, 100%. All right. And then
And then Finding Nemo just is going to be even more
next
out of
there.
place.
That totally exists there for a reason. Yeah. All right. Zootopia, Better Together. This was announced not at a D23, just kind of randomly at a
Out of the
little
blue.
thing. Like they had a little press conference, announced a few things, and this was one of them. Replacing Tough to Be a Bug. Something that
I
it's
don't
not
get it.
popular. Tough to Be a Bug doesn't draw the big crowd, so I think they're trying to. You got to remember, Zootopia broke $1 billion.
Oh, I get the why, but like, is it going to be in a tree? Like the
I
whole Tough to Be a Bug, it's themed around you
It's
becoming a
perfect.
bug.
Yeah. So this is coming in winter of 25. Derek, when is winter of 25? January, February, or December?
Oh, January, February. No, wait, winter of 25, December.
Winter
So
of
you're by the end.
25.
Yeah. So
The end of
December, the end of December.
Because like if that's January, February, I would think like they would be closing October 1st. So I guess if we see Tough to Be a Bug close like October 1st, this is the beginning of the fiscal year.
Well,
That's
they're
why
working on Zootopia 2 right now, so it shouldn't be hard to make this
right.
at the same time.
So I kind of want to say winter means January, February to
Okay.
me.
All right.
March,
Maybe.
the latest. Maybe we'll see.
We'll
I don't know
see.
what Disney considers winter. I know
I mean,
they
it's not that
consider
hard. It's a film,
right.
I guess you got to change the seats and some of the. I want to know how much
There's
they're
a
going to
Hopper
reskin.
animatronic, and
Yeah, is that going to be?
it's really fancy animatronic. I don't know what that would be,
What
but
animatronic's going to be? Judy Hopps? Well, no,
it's
you
a
need
whole
a big
different
animatronic.
size.
Yes,
Yeah. They got some work they got to do
They
physically, so it's got to be down.
You
for
know
a
that was
couple
a
months.
corporate idea, and there's an Imagineer just slamming his head, just like, all right, how are we going to shoehorn this in there? This is all built for a bug's life.
We're talking about biomes.
Yep.
So is the bee stinger going to be like an icicle? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. All right. That's Animal Kingdom for you. I was bummed that the expansion pad for Avatar did not get anything.
Nothing about it. No.
Yep, still there. And nothing for the train to
Nothing back
an
there,
actual
which
Zootopia
love.
land.
Yeah.
Okay. Moving on to Epcot, which sounded like at one point is done. Oh, can I go back to Animal Kingdom real quick?
Yes.
Huge shout out to Deadpool for calling out the Yeti. That still doesn't work. Thank you,
that was
Deadpool.
funny.
I laughed out loud. Great. Thank you.
I did too. And the joke about the dragon that won't catch on fire.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Deadpool stole the show. That was perfect. So anyway, Epcot, they pretty much just said, we're good.
Yeah.
So we got
make it a bar.
The bar that's already there, by the way,
right,
guys. This isn't a new build.
A corporate lounge is being turned into a public space lounge.
If you didn't know, Epcot's filled with corporate bars and lounges, and there's been one that's been used for years at Spaceship Earth, and now they're just basically opening it up to the public.
Yeah, because they haven't had a title sponsor for a while. So
yep.
evidently they've given up on getting a sponsor for Spaceship Earth and just been like,
this bar is going to be packed. By the way,
it has windows that looks out towards towards a
World Showcase, Lagoon. Yep,
you're a ways back from it, but that will probably be a popular evening spot.
Yep. And then Test Track.
Yeah,
well, one day open. It's going to long refurb, by the way.
Not this year.
Next year.
Early 25.
That's a long refurb for my son's favorite ride, by the way. Just that's the issue.
In like early 25 to them could be June 30th.
Yeah.
Right. Like, hey, it's the first half of the year.
They better make this thing good.
I know they're doing some of the dome projections because of patents and stuff that permits.
I like the tree look, like you're driving through trees.
I just hope it doesn't feel like right now. It feels like when you take your kid to learn how to drive the first couple times, the jerkiness of it, the braking, the swerving back and forth, it is like teaching a 15-year-old how to drive, and it's awful. I would like a nice casual ride through something while they learn about, but that would require changing the track. So I don't know if we're going to get that.
Yep.
I don't know. No, you haven't had to teach a kid yet how to drive.
No, I haven't. That's coming up sooner rather than later. I got 2 in middle school now.
I got another one
By the way,
happy
first day of school. Are you first day of school? We're
tomorrow.
Oh, nice. So everyone who's listening to this, happy first day of school if your kids are going back to school right now, like ours.
Yeah.
And if you're not, you will survive another week or 2 until they go.
Yeah.
So anyway, Hollywood Studios, Doug. This was fascinating.
This is 2 different announcements of very different scope.
So the first one cracks me up. I talked about the kid's story. So the first one threw me off guard. They're just like, hey, Galaxy's Edge, we're going to have a new show in the Millennium Falcon with Grogu and Mando. So Mandalorian themed. Now, I was like, sweet. this is breaking the timeline. We can finally get like Darth Vader in here and say, screw it. That I was there. I told my son Declan. Declan is obsessed with Star Wars. He's obsessed with Grogu. He reads the books. He plays the game. I thought he'd be excited. He was mad.
What?
And he loves the other Millennium Falcon storyline so much. He's just like, I love that storyline. I want a separate Grogu thing. And so I get
I don't blame it, but
I don't blame him at all. But I'm like, okay, but I'm going to film it when he rides it for the first time, and we'll see if he changes his mind. But no, this was a good announcement. This is something I've been wanting. I said they should be changing this every couple of years, and they did. Like, we've had other attractions like Midway Mania. They don't change seasonally.
Changed
like they
it
should.
once.
Yep. But here we go. So we're actually changing Millennium Falcon.
They changed it for Toy Story 3. They updated Mania. And they're like, yeah, when 4 comes out, we'll update it. Oh, well, now Toy Story 5
is coming out. Yeah.
I don't know if you shoot at iPads, but that's a discussion for the after show.
Love that.
Yeah,
but I love this announcement. I was bummed that there was no expansion pad. There's 2 Star Wars expansion pads. Neither of them, nothing.
I thought it was weird. This announcement just was kind of off the cuff.
Yeah.
During the video game section. I do get it though. They use the video game like graphics cards and engine to drive this
Unreal
attraction.
Engine 5. Yeah.
So it makes sense where it is, but to the average person, it probably doesn't make sense.
Oh yeah, my wife was just like, "Oh, they just kind of dropped that out of the blue."
Yeah, it's a video game, but it's not, right? Mm-hmm. So that's cool. The next one though, Monsters Inc. Land. Not ride. Mm-hmm. Land.
This is something they've been talking about 10 years, 15 years, Doug.
Yeah.
For a long time, everyone thought Aerosmith was going to be rethemed to Monsters Inc. coaster. They've had blueprints. They've had things. We're here. I feel like it's too late, but not too late, but we're here. They have the idea. Where's it going to go, though?
Rumor I first heard when we took Sam, when Sam was 2.5 and Alden was 1.
And Sam's 18 rumor. Now, so 16
going
years
to college. Ago. Yep. So there's two different theories. It's either going where Launch Bay is, or in behind. There's some office space back there and parking lots. It actually makes sense. Or Muppets Courtyard, and that would also wipe out our beloved Pizza Rizzo's. And yeah, so Muppet still sees a decent crowd. It still eats a lot of people. Launch Bay does not. Yeah. And literally the best thing in there is a Chewbacca meet and greet or Darth Vader, which you could move anywhere.
You can go to Galaxy's Edge.
Galaxy's Edge just needs to take one of the expansion pads and make character meets.
Why not? The one for the Star Cruiser is already built and set up. Like that should be one character. Boom, done.
That hallway is good to go.
Perfect.
Anywho, we can't solve all their problems today, Derek.
No, we cannot. But
let's talk about
Monsters Inc. I love it. This is a coaster where your feet dangle. It's not been done at Disney before. It looks fantastic. They actually had the model out. It's large. They also want to do a full land, so it sounds like a restaurant and gift shop and everything.
Hopefully 2 more attractions, although their definition of a land is 2 rides.
Oh, you know what? You know where that Triceratops spinner is going? It's going to be reskinned to monsters.
You could do so many different things with monsters that look like Triceratops.
Yeah,
just paint them.
It. I think this is a great idea, but it needs to go to where Launch Bay is and break up Animation Courtyard. But there is not as much room. Look on Google Earth. There's not as much room as you think.
Plenty of room.
Okay.
Plenty of room. The question is Disney Junior on stage. They have scaled that attraction back so many times. I don't know what its attendance is really like since it's just a dance party now.
Yep.
Right? When it was a show, there was a line, you had to wait, it was miserable, you got in, you sat on the floor, all the great things. But now it's just a dance party. I don't hear people planning their day around it.
Correct. I think that can get wiped out as well. The Little Mermaid doesn't make sense now back there, but we haven't really heard much about that show either.
Right. And so Little Mermaid could come back, and this construction starts in 25 is what we were told, which if they just start with construction on the main attraction. They could let Little Mermaid run for a year and then
Mhm.
bulldoze it.
Oh,
Or
that makes sense.
maybe Little Mermaid's fine right there. That whole walkway over to Toy Story, because you have One Man's Dream connected to the
Mhm.
Little Mermaid Theater, and the Monsters Inc. land is kind of set back more. Get rid of Disney Junior. I don't know. The area that Launch Bay takes up is big. Like, you got to remember they have a
It
whole
is so
theater
big.
back
Yeah.
there, and there's
And there's a
bathrooms
ton
back
of
there.
unused stuff back that whole
Like,
section.
Launch Bay is a ton of wasted space.
Yep. That's their
Um,
last really good expansion pad. So if you're going to do something big like this, plop it there. Here's my thing. I think if they were going to take out Muppets, they would have done it with Galaxy's Edge sucking in Star Tours. They
yeah,
had their moment. They didn't do it. Why would they do it now?
yeah. I think Muppets is so low cost to run that it's just easy to keep open. It
Hmm.
doesn't take much staff to run that theater. There's not actors on stage except for one character that's looking for the rabbit. Right?
Yep.
Um, it's just it plays to big audiences whether you believe it or not. So I don't know.
And
Yeah,
it's the
I'm
last thing
excited
Jim
though.
Henson worked on.
Yeah, so that's worth something.
Yep. So,
I mean, the Muppets used to be in that Little Mermaid theater. It's where they started at Hollywood Studios.
yeah. I still think Muppets just need to remake every movie. Like once a year, there should be a Muppet Pirates of the Caribbean movie. Disney, it's like Muppets Day,
Just
Disney
pick a
Plus.
different thing.
Yep.
That'd be awesome.
I know. I've had that idea for
Like
years.
Muppets Frozen,
Yeah.
Muppets Moana,
Yes, but one
Muppets
a
Sleeping
year.
Beauty.
Yes. And it's like a 45-minute comedy.
Perfect.
I know. It is. And then you can throw stuff like that in the parks. Disney, I'm solving, that area of the park
Mhm.
for you.
Well, we have no idea where this is going. They haven't even done test balloons on the
No.
heights.
This
So,
this in my opinion is 6 years away.
but it says starts in 25. I
Don't
don't
believe
believe
it.
it at
Not
all.
even a
This is the
sec.
most skeptical of anything I am.
Yep. This is the one out of all of them I could see scrapping.
Although after the announcements that night, there's something at Magic Kingdom that I was the most skeptical of, but not anymore, Derek.
Nope, not anymore. Let's move on to Magic Kingdom. We were both wrong. The pirate bar is gonna happen,
They
Doug.
just why hasn't it though?
How isn't
Woo,
it?
like
Let's turn it into a
make
gift
it.
shop. Yeah, just get
Oh,
it going.
and so it says in 25.
Yeah, that's
That's it.
yep. There you go.
Pirate bar.
It looks cool. I saw the pictures. Yeah, I can. It should have been done years ago. But
Maybe they
yes,
couldn't get the liquor permit. I don't know.
who knows? Yeah, Disney can't get a liquor permit. But no, Pirate Bar is finally coming. Yay! And we were wrong on that. The thing that Doug was wrong on was the nighttime parade
Yeah, I'm very
coming.
wrong. I didn't think it would happen from a logistics standpoint.
See, I think
It's
it
going to
makes
be a
so
hot
much
mess.
sense.
Oh, you don't really remember dealing with children and trying to watch a nighttime parade and fireworks.
You just don't move for like 2 hours.
You feel like you paid to get in the park with all these rides, and then you stop going on rides at 7 and just sit there for
I
two
am
and a half,
so
3
excited
hours.
for this parade. I love parades though.
Yeah, I'm excited because it looks like something that I can probably watch from back further. I don't need to be on the curb. Like they're gonna be big
Yeah,
floats.
let the little kid on the curb,
I
Doug.
can
Come on
no,
now.
I got elbows for a reason. No, I can stand way back and check it out. As it rolls by on my way to something better. No, Paint the Night was fantastic. They did that at Disneyland. So if it's half as good as Paint the Night, it'll be fantastic. So
There you
and
go.
but here's the problem with it. That comes this summer, right? Coming up
Yep.
summer, around the time Epic Universe is rumored
Yep.
to be opening. This is Disney's response to Epic Universe. We have a parade.
Yep, there you go. Parade. That's going to drive attendance. Honestly, especially with these next two announcements, I really do think Disney is waiting to see what Epic Universe does. They will be there. They will be there opening week, a bunch of Imagineers checking out all the lands, taking notes, taking illegal pictures and videos somehow, and bringing it back before they even start breaking ground on the next two announcements.
I don't know. The next announcement says starts in 25.
I don't believe it at all.
Define break ground. Changing
Yes.
where water is that breaking ground, or making footings to pour foundations.
Foundations.
Okay, we're
That's
a
where I'm
ways
at.
from foundations. Yeah.
Yes. So, big announcement. Frontierland doesn't matter anymore because it's going to be mini cars land over there. We've heard this rumor for a while now that they've been thinking of using either beyond Big Thunder or west of Big Thunder, but instead,
In front
where we,
of
yeah, right in front of Big Thunder. What does that mean they're getting rid of, Doug?
the rivers of America and a boat.
What? They are ruining Disney. Twitter was on
Oh
fire
my gosh, Twitter
yesterday.
Twitter
I
was
was
on
having
fire
so
today.
much fun reading all the thing. Nothing is sacred anymore. This is not my Disney.
I'm never
When
going
was
again.
when was the last time you went to Tom Sawyer's Island? You listening to this right now. Now, Doug, when was the last time you went?
Um so I took the boat over once last September. We took the boat over and got right and came right back because we were doing every moving attraction in the Magic Kingdom. That doesn't count
Nope, doesn't count.
because we were doing a challenge. So last time I legitimately went to Tom Sawyer's Island, I want to say Alden, who is currently 16, was 3.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um, last time I legitimately went on the Liberty Bell on purpose, probably 5 years ago.
Okay. Okay, I'm at least better than you. I'm a better Disney fan, Doug. I took Olivia 2 years ago on
Define
our
better.
father-daughter trip, and then I actually do enjoy the Liberty Bell. I've done that
If it
probably
had seats,
yeah.
put
I've
some
done it, I
benches on
think,
it.
3 times, in the last 5 years.
It's quite a few.
Yeah,
You're well above average, sir.
thank you. But, yeah, most people don't go because when I did take Olivia, it was in the middle of the day, and we were the only ones there.
Like any attraction that's not pulling its weight is on the chopping block.
And
It
that
doesn't
is a lot
matter.
of real estate.
Yeah. And I
I
know
hope they
people
keep some of
like
their water, by the way.
I
That's
mean, there's gonna be water in Cars Land. They're like driving through the mountains. There's gonna be like streams and water.
mhm,
Disney likes to have the water that's moving and flowing because it adds a kinetic energy to the park.
yeah,
That is one thing that the Liberty Bell did. It adds kinetic energy to the park,
mhm.
which just increases the atmosphere. That's something the train does that we missed for a long time. And you could tell, like, it feels dead when things are moving around you that you're not necessarily on. It makes the
Does
park feel
does these
alive.
2 announcements mean the train's gonna probably go down again?
I don't see how it doesn't.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I mean, maybe not. Maybe like the train's just going to be like an underpass to
Mhm.
get. I don't know. Maybe not
Well, instead of beyond Big Thunder, they're just taking up Tom Sawyer's Island for, these
for
announcements
cars.
for cars, for sure.
The other
Uh,
one's beyond.
y yes.
Yeah.
They haven't laid out all of that yet, but cars I am not upset about the Frontierland thing. I
No, I
think
got no
whatever,
problems.
it's fine. I do love the idea of bringing an e-ticket and a D-ticket attraction right there. That'll fill up some more people. Cars is such a popular IP. It will sell a lot of merch. My daughter, who is 12, is still obsessed with Lightning McQueen. So it's great to have. And it's going to be different from the West Coast
Well,
version. Whoa, Disney,
man,
you're making some good changes.
here when they've talked about Beyond Big Thunder, and everybody's like, "Well, how are you going to get there? Like, we're all going to walk past Thunder Mountain, or are you going past Haunted Mansion? And that's pretty narrow. And like, how are we going to get there? Was always a big question. Guess what this does? It controls the traffic flow. It
Yes, it
changes how
does.
everybody's going to get through that section of the park. They can make a nice wide sidewalk right back through. You probably won't have to walk past Splash Mountain to come back to Beyond Big Thunder to get to the next thing we're going to talk about.
Okay, so D23 was wrapping up. Josh was saying his goodbye. Thank you. Uh, I can't even look it up at the moment. One of our Instagram listeners was messaging like crazy. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe they didn't make the announcement. Ruin, worst D23 type thing. And then all of a sudden, fire and the music changes and they announce Villains Land.
Yeah.
Whoa! Big announcement. This is to combat Epic Universe's Universal Monster area.
Yeah.
So this is what Disney's doing in response to it.
My biggest question is, will we be able to get monster makeovers like Bibbidi Boppity Boutique? But can I get my
They're
kid to be Maleficent, right?
they're
Like,
doing that at Epic Universe,
yeah,
so maybe they'll do it.
I
We'll
bet
see.
they're going to copy that one.
we're told 2 attractions, dining, shopping. Is it going
Monstering.
is it going to be as epic as what they're gonna be doing down the road?
I don't know. And what villains might we
It
see?
looks like Maleficent all the way through the
Right?
character. Like, it's a little too heavy on one villain, in my opinion.
Like it needs to have like I get one attraction could be Maleficent, that whole area could be themed, but then like somehow they need to have like come up with like the Council of Villains or
Yeah.
something. Some easy way
If
they can get them all there.
if you do not have a sit down villains dining, Disney. I know you already screwed up with Galaxy's Edge and not having a Star Wars dining. If you do not have a villains dining, you're just swinging and missing. Getting you free information right now to take it, make it happen. Jafar comes by your table, Maleficent comes by your table,
Gaston,
Gaston. Yeah, it pays
80s.
for itself. The ADRs have already, you won't be able to get into it. It's done.
Yeah. Queen of Hearts.
Oh,
Oh, the options.
you just get a real lion and you get Scar.
Scar, yeah,
Yep.
and a big octopus squid thing for Ursula. That'd
Yeah.
be fun.
But still, this pays for itself, guys. It's a swing and a miss, easy home run. Not swing and a miss, swing and a hit, whatever.
Home
But
run.
still, home run.
Softball. It's right down
There
the
you go.
middle.
Villains dining. Just saying it
Oh
again.
yeah. 100% they have to. I mean, like any kind of character dining you can add is smart. So I
Mhm.
don't know why they don't do more. Other than you got to pay the actors, right? But this one would be fantastic. Maybe that's why they got rid of Lady Tremaine and the Stepsisters from 1900. They're preparing for 15 years down the road when this opens.
That's hilarious. So that was my next question, Doug. You made a joke about it. They haven't
Mhm.
broken ground. They haven't even told us exactly where it's going to be yet. There's no test balloons. This is that Avengers Campus D23 first announcement. So what are we going to hear 2 years from now?
So they are moving mud and muck behind Big Thunder. Like we rode the train just to look back there, and it is swamp.
It is swamp.
So they have already started to drain the swamp back there for Villains Land. That's why we know where Villains Land is going. The thing when they announced it, we're like, where is Cars Land gonna go exactly? Like, is that gonna go outside of Splash to the left where there's warehouses and parade?
That's where I
facilities?
actually thought it was going to
Right,
go.
that's what I was thinking. It makes more sense where they're putting it.
Yeah.
Instead of Rivers of America. I understand it. It makes sense, and I'm not mad about it.
Nope.
We're gonna lose listeners because we're not up in arms, Derek.
Yep.
I'm sorry, guys. We just if people don't go on it, like
Yep.
Figment, I love Figment, but nobody goes on the attraction. Something's gonna happen eventually.
Next D23. I was wrong on that, by the way. Biggest.
That would
I'm
be-
still
that
mad.
was the
I'm not.
biggest.
I'm still upset.
That they should have at least blue skied that out for us. Be like, okay, this one's
We've
a little
heard
blue
you.
sky,
Yeah,
right?
we're
That-
working on it.
Yeah, we know. Just
We
be like,
got
something in
Steve
it.
back here. He's putting in some drawings.
Yeah. So, but Villains Land. I mean, it will be if we see that in a decade, 8 years.
8 years at the minimum. Minimum.
And that's with like, who knows what could happen to interest rates, inflation.
You could be a grandparent by then,
Pandemic.
Doug.
It's
I'm
frightening.
just saying.
So, 10 years. So I had a kid at 25. Alden's going to be 26.
Yeah.
That's just insane. So I remember though.
You could take your grandkid their first Disney trip
Like,
to Villains Land opening.
Right? That sounds really weird.
I know. Hey, this show's been going on for 8 years.
Right? When they announced Star Wars and Sam was like so excited. I'm like, you're going to be in high school when that opens.
Mm-hmm.
And she was almost, she was 8th grade. So we were very close to my high estimate of making fun of Disney.
8 years. That's my guess. So in like 2 years, they'll be like, in 2 years, they can announce the attractions.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then 2 years, the 2 years after that, they're going to announce the opening date. That's just 6 years, though.
Which is in 2 years after that, like they did with Paris.
They'll give us a year.
Yep.
Oh my God, Paris. Get your act together. But
I mean, Tron took 6 years, so this is a whole land. And then Epic Universe, I swear, got thrown together over the weekend.
they're like, yeah, we got some land. We're gonna put some
Did you
stuff
see
there.
that Epic Universe has like live dragons, not real dragons, but real looking
Like,
dragons? I was like,
yeah,
flying.
flying.
They,
You remember when Disney flew
one
X-wing?
X-wing, yeah, one time, one
Where's
X-wing.
that X-wing been?
The FAA shut that one down.
They could have flown outside though.
Yeah.
Like where a certain hotel is that we like would have been visible. It would
Oh
have looked
yeah,
like
that hotel, great
it,
hotel.
it would have looked like it was over
Yeah.
the land, but oh yeah, Villain's Land. No date at all on Villain's Land. Everything else almost got a year put to it.
Yeah.
So the fact they didn't get
I
a
think they're
year,
going to throw cars together pretty quickly.
I think they have to hold off the pitchforks. Like the second the wall goes up to shut down the Liberty Bell, like they got to move on that. Although let's be honest, that river was drained for 3 months of the year and hideous in pictures.
For the record, I went how many Februaries in a row, and
Always
I
empty,
text you picture.
right?
Yeah, empty every
Like
February.
Christmas empty. January it's not pretty most of the year. So, and that's the time of year, like I wouldn't mind riding on it when it's not 1,000 degrees. But when it's cold out, they just drain it. It sits there that's doing maintenance. But it's a concrete thing with a rail. Like there's no mystery, no magic.
I'm just gonna be annoyed if they shut down the train for an extended period of time.
I'm kind of rooting for that now.
You get 6 months, guys. I can give you 6 months to shut down the train.
Oh, so in Disney,
the thing was shut down for like 6 years before.
It was like Calvin's life.
It was. now we finally did it.
So
and he wasn't as thrilled as I thought he would be.
Callum, who's entering first grade, will he have graduated? No, the question is, can they open Villain's Land before your kids graduate high school?
We'll see.
Close.
It's gonna be close. Yep.
We're joking saying 8 years. I really hope they get it done in 6.
Do you think? Okay, so here's the thought, because this is all ploy because Epic's coming in down the street. It's going to be big. I mean, your wife already knows Universal's not doing well right now because a lot of people are holding off. They're waiting. Yeah. But is Epic going to do so much business when it opens that it is going to pull people away from Disney vacations?
I don't see how it doesn't. It's new. It's shiny.
Mm-hmm.
The question is, when is it going to open? Is it going to all open at once? Is it going to open in phases?
Yeah.
So when is it going to start to pull people? Also, like when they opened Animal Kingdom, they thought, oh, people are going to stay at Disney a whole nother day. Well, when they first opened Animal Kingdom, all it did was cannibalize Hollywood Studios and Epcot. People just changed where they went.
Yeah.
So I think Universal is going to probably the only way you can get in is buying a ticket that requires more days. Like you're not going to be able to single day it or 2 park it. I think you're going to have to buy the 4-day 4-park ticket. That's my guess. I have no idea. No information
they're definitely
at
going
all.
to do something like that. And people will pay it.
Because they don't want what happened with Animal Kingdom's opening. Now, eventually it balanced out, right? Once people... Plus, when Animal Kingdom opened, there was no Cali River Rapids, no Everest.
Yep.
Like, no Pandora. Like,
there's a Camp Mini Mickey.
Oh my gosh. Was that day 1 too?
I can't remember if it was day 1.
I don't think so.
No.
Because that's where the dragons were supposed to be.
Yeah.
Right?
And so, yeah. And then they like threw in that Lion King
like,
show.
Oh, we need more. You had Tarzan back there for a while, but it's interesting.
Yeah. It's come a long way. The parks are changing. Walt said they will never be finished. And so here we are, another D23 in the books. I have watched so many of these every year. You have the theater, you have the thing in
Mary Poppins ride.
Mary Poppins, that was where I was going. Spaceship Earth never got the redo. What out of all this list, Doug, do you see not happening?
I mean, not happening at all.
Yep.
I think if Villain's Land doesn't happen, like
people are gonna riot. It's too. I think Villain's Land has to happen.
Too big of a thing.
You can't have 2 D23s talking and building it.
Out of all the things, I think something at Disneyland's the most likely to go by the wayside, like Coco or
I'm gonna say the
Monsters Land.
Yeah, I think we're gonna get a dumbed down version of it.
It becomes Monsters Ride, right? We get the coaster, but we leave Disney Junior and we leave Little Mermaid right there, right? We
Yep.
just have,
The
there's
ride.
Monstropolis, the power plant, right? Just
Mm-hmm.
that's it, no land. Which I wouldn't be 100% angry. I'd be like, well, it's better than nothing, but they're
Oh
gonna
no,
do
I want
something
the
on the cheap.
restaurant, the Japanese sushi
Oh,
restaurant from Monsters Inc. I
there
want
we
that in
go.
the park. Disney, listen, another softball pitch to you.
They really should listen to us about food.
They should. So there you go.
Yeah.
No food announcements, no character announcements. Derek was wrong on that.
No
But the one that threw
resorts.
me off, yeah, no resort announcements, even though there are trucks in 2 different areas at Walt Disney World laying foundation right now. We're not going to, no, nothing,
Mystery. We
guys.
don't know. Nothing's happening here. Look the other way.
Nope. I think some of the other resorts got to get booked up, sold out. And then I think that's going to be one you hear. I think you'll hear it in a year, and then they'll make a kind of a where we're at in 2 years.
Yeah.
So there you go. Overall, I was really happy with this
Yeah.
D23. The music, a little much. Like we didn't need a 30-minute concert to start. Let's just get to the announcements. Deadpool, great. Some of
Yeah.
the guests coming out were fantastic. Yeah. Overall, very
Megan
satisfied.
Trainor coming out and saying Megan Trainor was just on a royal ship. She's the godmother of the Utopia the Seas. So
Oh,
she's working both companies
I
now.
love it. Yeah, I thought it was a fantastic show. They went big. They went to the Honda instead of staying
Yeah.
local, and so they did a good job. They built expectations. I felt like they did a good job. I saw a lot of people were really disappointed. I was not.
No, not disappointed at all. It was solid. Let's just see if it happens.
Well, we will see. Let us know what you think is going to happen. I know you already let us know what you're most excited about. What did you miss? We miss. Let us know your thoughts this week on Rope Drop Radio on all the things. We have to get to the after show, which is all going to be about the movie and show and some of the other announcements coming on Disney Plus into the big screen, because that was a whole different the night
Mm-hmm.
before. And then, yes, please leave a review and then book a trip. Book a trip now, guys. Just do it now, because you got 2, 3, 8 years. Don't wait for Villains Land. Just
Oh,
don't. Do it now.
you should book with. I'm going to be doing the springtime surprise. Registrations opening soon,
Yep.
like the 20th or 21st or 23rd. I
I
don't know.
can't
Look
run
it
with
up
a
on Run
hernia,
Disney.
so
No,
I'll
Derek's
be
out.
there. I'm out, but my
Yeah,
goal is to be there. But I think I'm done running and lifting for
yeah.
quite a while. But
April 3rd through the 6th. Come join us. Book through 2 Rain Cruises. Get a shirt.
yes, and then use them to book all your trips. Thank you guys so much. Doug, Ryan, thank you for covering the show last week when I was gone. I missed all of you listeners, but I am back. And so you've been listening to another Rope Drop Radio.